Hello, welcome to CLSB Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So this is Illinois 2026 primary for March 17th. This is part of my 50 state series on the primaries coming up in 2026. Illinois, very busy state. There is a lot going on in this state. We've got all sorts of primaries, money being spent. It took me forever to get through all the FEC documents. It's pretty nuts. So let's get started. What do the congressional districts look like? Well, they look like that. There are 17 congressional districts in Illinois, and needless to say, a lot of them pivot off of Chicago. Because then my mom's from Joliet. There's just a lot of corn. And just a lot of corn out there. Yeah, I've ridden a train through Illinois. It is an agriculture state, which is an interesting fact, actually, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But these are the top Democratic congressional seats. These are what I would classify all of these as pretty safe. 11 and 14 we'll get into a little bit, but the rest of them are in the 60 percentile. Wow, number 7 is an 82 percentile Democrat. That is as blue can be. So a lot of very, very safe districts, but all of them, of course, pivot off Chicago and the suburbs of Chicago. So the 17th is an interesting one. It's on the other side of Illinois from Chicago, and it has a couple different cities in it, and then a lot of farmland, and it sits at 51-44, and probably the most competitive seat that the Republicans and Democrats have in Illinois. Real quick, you can like and subscribe to this channel on YouTube at CLSB Politics or Substack. I'm also on Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok. I will be publishing on Substack. I will be publishing to all my paid subscribers different interviews and things. They'll see those way before they'll go public. And any live video footage from any races I'll be working on will also be published there first. So definitely try and check out my Substack at $5 a month. It's not too bad. So then you got the 13th congressional district. It's a little bit safer for the Dems than the other one, but it's still a little tight. And more interestingly, like as a field expert in campaigning, that's some fun geography right there. You're looking at running across the river in St. Louis. And then you've got Springfield, and then you keep on going up. It's definitely, you basically have to have 3 headquarters to run this race. So not only is it a tight race, it's logistically a challenging race. When you see, we've got a lot of districts like this in Texas, the long, skinny ones that are like, no. Those guys are insane. They're just real hard to run because you end up having to have multiple headquarters, decentralized, which can be helpful sometimes, but still it's a challenge. So this race definitely a challenge. So let's take a closer look at the competitive seats. So District 17, Eric Sorensen, he's the incumbent. He's sitting on a little over $500,000 right now. This was as of June. So I imagine by now he's got to be in the 7-figure department, which is solid and what's required for this seat. District 6, Sean Casten, also looking very good. He's over $1 million. This was of course back in June. I'm sure he's getting the rest of his little ducks in a row, and I'd say he's in a good position to run in this seat. District 11, Bill Foster, also looking very strong, almost $2 million as of June, definitely over $2 million by now. So all those seats, although tight, look like they're being well funded, that the DCCC is throwing money into them and helping them with fundraising, which is solid. So that's a good sign for Democrats in those seats. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So there's a bunch of really safe seats. We were just talking about that in Chicago, right? Okay, check this out. So this is District 7. It's that small one down there. You can see it. These are all the Democrats running for that seat. That's a lot of Democrats. I mean, wow, that's well over 15. This is a primary, guys. This is what we call, I mean, and what's interesting is seven's not a lot of geography. If you're a regular voter in District 7, a regular primary voter in District 7, you are going to get, so your mail per day when early voting and everything starts up is going to be like this thick, just political mailers. It's going to be nuts. Huge, huge primary year. Everyone, their grandma's running for this one is what we say. Real quick, just a reminder again, like and subscribe. These are all the places I'm at. So these are the 3 and 7 that are the biggest bank. I mean, and the rest of them either have no money or negative, or just haven't reported anything in their FEC yet. So as of June, they didn't raise anything. So these are the guys who started early. And I cannot tell you how important it is to start early in fundraising. If you're running for a seat and you're filing now, hope your friends and family lists are all up to date because you're going to need it. But what we have here is Melissa is just sitting at a little over 8,000, which is, she's already spent some money, probably got her website up and did some other things, got the PO box going, did some art, logo, that kind of thing, which is important. But she's got to be looking down the pipe at Jason and John and going, wow, these guys, Jason as of June was at almost $1 million. You've got John McCombs at over 2 million. These are going to be, and this is cash on hand. This is not including what they've already spent money on. Heavy lift. The one thing that's in Melissa's favor, actually, is only female here that has any money. And she's in a, 17-way race. So that being the only female with any kind of real, we call juice, the money, is helpful in a Democratic primary. I watched many really good candidates run in 2018 that were male, but the Me Too cycle, that's what we call it, didn't matter how good your candidate was. If it was a female running, there's 9 and 10, that female is going to win. So it's definitely when you're the only female with any real money in a race, the rest of it's all men, it's a factor. And if she can start raising real money, then she could be a formidable candidate in this race. District 8, while it has fewer primary candidates in it, it is no less more as dynamic. So 8's more of like a outer suburb of Chicago district. You can see it right there. It's a lighter blue, but still dark enough. It's a solid 5441. It's not going anywhere, right? So these are all the candidates that are running. I'm going to break them down for you real quick. So this is how much money's been raised. Now Melissa Bean's in this one, and she filed in the previous cycle. It's hard to tell where she's going to land, so I think they're still working out paperwork with her. But if you look at and I'm apologizing for mispronouncing all these names ahead of time because it's going to get rough. But Junaid Ahmed, 329,000 in June, not shabby. Yasmin Bankol, also 150. This is in June, guys. This is months ago. Who knows what these guys have done since? I'm sure that they're posting stuff, but until the FEC sees it, I'm not, You've got Sanjot Danung. If there's a large Asian community in there, then that something could be happening there. You just don't know. Christian Callis has some cash on hand in June. See what they, what Chris did with it. Neil Knott, almost 500,000 in June. Not bad. You've got Kevin Morrison, 152, still in the game. And you got Dan Tully at 200,000. So it really isn't anyone who's like Neil's probably got over $1 million. But if any of these guys, this is a primary. If one of these guys has enough money to build a decent field program, they could have some real juice, and no one would see him coming until early voting starts trickling in and you're seeing people you don't recognize in your data set. So there's a lot of opportunities here for a candidate because there's so many people with money running in this seat that this could be a really interesting and dynamic primary. And this is one I'm definitely watching. District 9, 1,000 people running in District 9. And it's also a weird district. And if you look at it, it's that one that kind of looks like a snake, comes up like that. It's an interesting one because remember I was telling you about those narrow squiggly districts. This is one of those. You're going to have to run, you're going to have to almost run two different campaigns because you've got obviously real city part of Chicago, and then it goes into the suburbs. So this is also going to be kind of an interesting seat to watch. Also, everyone and their grandma's running for this seat. And when you break up a primary like this, it's anyone's game. Let's see what the money looks like. Again, people raising money. The two biggest contenders is Kat. Oh gosh, Abgazalala. I'm so sorry, but you're doing great. Back in June, you were over 500,000. Kat, you're doing 100%. Keep it up, and you'll be just fine. And then Bruce Leon, the other one, he's kicking butt, also in the 600,000 range, doing well. Both those candidates will probably have over $1 million. Then you've got one of the more interesting ones. You got Laura Fine, $250,000, probably at half, or even maybe $1 million by now. Not impossible. Same with Bushra, definitely in game. But like I said, this district's a little difficult because it's so long. You're going to end up having to run headquarters out of two different areas if you're going to be running any real field and real voter contact. So you're going to need multiple headquarters. Otherwise, your paid canvassing is going to spend all of its time driving through Chicago traffic, and you want them knocking on doors, not sitting in traffic. So, like I said, any amount of money is good. And then you've got some other people who, like Hon Huyen, has raised 74 and spent 74. So that sounds like there are probably some in-kind donations. Usually when you see something like that, it's weird that they would have zero money on hand and have exactly spent down to 38 cents the amount that they had. It sounds like somebody said, we're doing in-kind donations or what have you. They figured something out. Or it was a loan, and anyway, there's different ways that it would work out this way. They spent 74,000. I'm curious what they spent it on. Imagine the website looks great, logo works all done, PO box is paid for the cycle, all the basic stuff's been done. And I'm curious to see how much money they've raised since. Plus, 74K would help you raise more money. It takes money to raise money, so wouldn't write off that one either. So, like I said, there's this race has a lot of people raising money early. So, come next filing period, which will be at the end of the year, this will be interesting to see how this changes, and I'll be coming back to this for sure. Again, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is kind of my quick look at the Illinois primary. Just picking. I know there's other races out there. I'm going to get to them, but these were kind of like the low-hanging fruit. And I try to keep my videos down to between 15 and 20 minutes. So if you'd like to see more about me, you can go to my website at clsbpolitics.com. I've got YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. I'm on all of them. So hope everyone had a great day. And this one's going out at the end of the week. So, all right, I'll see you then. You have a good one.